Welcome to From the Heart, a podcast where we are talking truths, taboos, and triumphs. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of From the Heart, talking truths, taboos, and triumphs. This episode is going to be one for all the ladies, and for some of the men who would like to satisfy their ladies. And I can hear you wondering, oh, are they talking sex? Yes, we are. Today I'm here with Anna Thelmann, who is a sexual intimacy expert. Now, I have known Anna for probably 6 months or so, maybe a little bit longer. And I love it that in our networking sessions, she does her little pitch. And in it, she says, I help women get their orgasm back. And if you think that there is one woman there that doesn't go, sorry, what did you say? Yeah, every woman in the room is just like, yeah, I heard what you said. How can you do that? So that is what we're going to be talking about today. So if this topic is too much for you, if it's not something you're comfortable listening to two women discuss, well, shame on you, because orgasms are amazing. But feel free to stop listening here or keep listening and get educated. So, Anna, tell me a little bit about you. Tell everyone listening, a little bit about who you are, what you do, because we all need orgasms.
Orgasms. Yeah. So thank you very much for the lovely intro. And just to give you my pitch now, what people hear in the sessions is like, I help you to get your orgasm back by getting out of your head and into your knickers. Yes. And that's what I like to do. I help my clients to remove those self-sabotaging thoughts that they have to then have that orgasm, because the orgasm or having sex is just the result, but it starts with your thoughts, because our thoughts create our emotions create our actions, and our action create our results. So in order to have that orgasm, we need to start at the beginning, and we need to figure out what thoughts are going on in your mind that's holding you back from interacting with your partner, interacting with yourself, with your own body. Because orgasms, I don't know if you ladies know it, but if you masturbate, the chances to reach an orgasm are 95%. And when you have intercourse with your partner, it's 35%.
See, I would have said closer to 99% when I'm masturbating. I don't think, look, there's probably a handful of times that I've gone, look, I just can't be bothered. But look, if I'm going to start a race, I'm going to finish the race. It doesn't matter how long it takes me to get to the finish line. But yeah, I know what you mean. Interesting statistic. It's only 35% with your partner. Wow.
Yes. Yeah, I was surprised. But on the other hand, I can understand that, because I don't know about you, but it takes sometimes quite long to get into the mood, to get into that right mood, not just, okay, let me spread my legs, but actually to say, let's do this. So that the passion, and then to reach that orgasm, you have to find the right spots, you have to find the right movement. There's so much that has to play into it.
Yeah.
To give us that orgasm. And one researcher actually even said that some women anatomically can't get an orgasm during intercourse.
Yeah,
so when they have intercourse.
Yeah, she's one of those women, and I won't name her, but when she listens to this, she's going to go, I can't believe you just told the whole world that. But she's like that, because we have discussions about it all the time. Before she met me, she didn't even own a vibrator. And I thought, oh, honey, I'm sorry. She owns one now, of course. But yeah, she will quite often say that she cannot climax from intercourse. And I thought, oh, I just assumed all women did, but no, it's quite a common thing.
Yeah, but we have to differentiate, because some are physically, because the G spot might be somewhere in the back corner of your vagina and you just don't get there, or the penis is like shaped differently, you you don't get there. Yeah. So whatever the physical outlet anatomy situation is. Yeah. But on the other hand, there are also women who just tell themselves, I can't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's where the mind comes in, that getting out of your head and back into your knickers, to get rid of those thoughts, to just, no, I can. I might not get it the first time or in the first half a year, but I can. And that's where I come then into play, to help with exactly that.
Yeah, great. I know that, you know, we think of it as men that have premature ejaculation issues, but that goes for both sexes. You know, I think sometimes we get in our head of, that feels really good, I need to stop thinking about how good it is, because I don't want to be the first one to come, and you know, it's only been 2 minutes. And I don't think it matters what side of, you know, the equation you're on. I think there's always that desire to please your partner and to make the experience, you know, amazing for them as well. And look, it usually works. You know, if each partner is there purely for the enjoyment and pleasure of the other person, it's a really great match. Sometimes it's okay to just be in it for yourself. I think it's perfectly okay. You know, in a committed relationship, or if you're having a one-night stand, whatever your preference is, it's okay to be selfish sometimes, because it is our health, it's our sexual health, it's, you know, our mental health. You know, just the we were talking just before we started recording about the endorphins and the dopamine and all of the chemical changes that happen in your body during that sexual intercourse act, that brings all those nice warm fuzzy feelings, and that it can help with mental health, it can help with, you know, medical issues, you know, to look, I'm no doctor, yeah, but I know that there are, and you'd be the one that would probably be able to explain that a bit better, but there are actual benefits, health benefits to having regular orgasms. Am I right?
Yes, definitely. So you sleep better. So when you have a stressful day and you can't quieten your mind, having an orgasm makes you sleep better. You feel calmer, you relax, your body relaxes, your muscles relax, your brain relaxes. Amen. Due to that chemical thing that's going on in your body. On the other hand, it helps you prevent cancer, like we talked. It's not like this is the cure, but when you orgasm, when you climax, you increase the killer cells in your body.
Right.
So when you have a headache, have an orgasm. When you have pain, I tried it with menstrual pain.
Oh yeah.
An orgasm relaxes the muscles. It also increases those killer cells with the pain. Amazing.
Yeah. Sorry, ladies, the old excuse of, sorry, we can't tonight, honey, I've got a headache. We just put that right out the window. So to any of the men listening, do not hold this against your women.
Yeah, men can now come and say, I know I have just the right cure for you.
Yeah, I've just heard from the heart and they said you're lying.
No, the thing is, he could now say, like, I know what to do, and giving her then the orgasm, putting her first, and just doing that, like, darling, I can cure you.
Yeah. Yes, I guarantee you will score brownie points doing that. Oh, yeah, and I shouldn't just say the men. I'm sure we have lots of LGBTQIA plus members listening here too. So to all of the ladies pleasuring their ladies, please. Yeah. To all of the men pleasuring their men, please. Yeah. You know, do us all a favor. And if anyone has a headache, look, you could pop some Panadol, you could have some Nurofen, or have an orgasm. I mean, what's it going to hurt?
Yeah. And the benefit of it further is for those ladies or men who want to look younger.
Oh, yes.
By orgasm, 3 to 4 times a week, a long-term study has shown that females look 10 years younger than those who don't orgasm 3 to 4 times a week. So here you go. You want to look young.
Some anti-aging tips in here too.
Yeah.
Love that.
And of course, and it stimulates the libido, because it's like oiling the engine. Yeah. Oh, like we do it, we want more of it, and we're going, and we don't forget about it. It helps during menopause, and it's not the sex I want to make that clear. It's not having sex intercourse, it's the orgasm.
Yeah.
So however you get there, it stimulates you. You want more.
I know I've found myself, I've had periods where my ex-husband was away for 6-9 months at a time. And I found that I got to a certain point and then I just forgot about it. Like, it no longer plagued my mind of I'm really craving that connection and that intimacy moment with someone. I just kind of forgot about it. But when you get it again, you're like, oh, that's right. I remember this. Why don't we do this every day? Like, we should be doing this twice a day.
Yeah.
And then you go, through that little bit of a dry spell again, and you're like, I remember it was good, but it's been a little while since I remembered how good. But then you get again, and it's like, whoa, that's right. This is why I remember saying last time we should do this more often. So what are some statistics around that do you have? Like, what is, I know that you said 3 to 4 orgasms a week for women help anti-aging. Love that tip. Write that down, ladies. What other kind of facts like that do you have that our listeners might find interesting?
Well, for the men out there, so it helps with erectile dysfunction, because it's cleaning the pipes. So the more often you do that, the better it is. For men, it's actually 21 times a month. So you have to do it more often, guys, but I don't think that's a big problem. It also helps prevent prostata cancer. The chances to not getting prostata cancer are 33%. So that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, you last longer.
Yeah, because you're not built up.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know.
So that is.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say that that's beneficial for both of them. So for both partners, when the guy can last longer, if it's a female then as a counterpart, then she has time to get to her orgasm as well in time. So it doesn't have to be this, oh, I'm finished. Oh, yeah, what now?
So do you work with couples as well who, might be having, like that dry spell where they just can't seem to get their rhythm back, maybe after having children or, having been together for so long that it's become very mundane and routine? Do you work with like just one-on-one with people, or do you work with couples?
I work one-on-one. So I do work with couples, but individually.
Right.
So then it's working with one mindset, we're working on the other mindset, and then they can talk together and communicate.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah. I think anyone that says sex isn't a big part of a long-lasting, loving relationship, look, I don't want to say they're silly, but they're in denial. I think that it is a really, especially for women, I can't speak for the men's side of things. Obviously, I'm not one, but I know from my side of things, I find it really important to have those moments of connection, regularly with my partner. It's how you stay connected. It's how you grow that bond deeper, and you fall more in love with your partner each time you're intimate. It's just how our female brains work. And I think it's so important to make sure that you're enjoying it. I think sex should be fun, and if it's not fun, you're doing it wrong. I think that there are so many ways to explore, that there is no right or wrong way. Everyone has their own kinks and their own fantasies. And as long as both parties are consenting, have at it. It is a part of adult life. It is a part of married life. And I think as long as everyone is in, a safe space, that it should be fun. Like if you can't giggle through, some of the, awkward moments of sex, then you're not doing it with the right person. Like if you're just scared about, oh my God, I just farted because, there was too much air buildup, during that, I don't know if we should be naming positions or not, but, in certain positions, air builds up, it has to be released. If you can't laugh at that, there's got to be that comfort level, right? So I think I think fun is the key, right? And safe is the key.
But the thing is, it usually starts in your brain that you feel ashamed of, you can't do this. You've been told maybe by a partner before that this is not how you do it, or you've seen it, or you've just believe it without having any previous experience that this is how you have to behave, how it has to be, etc.
Yeah.
And so I wouldn't say you're with the wrong guy or the wrong partner. I would say find out what you want, raise your confidence in wanting that, and talk about it. And most often you will find that your partner doesn't think you're disgusting, or that they don't want to try it, or anything negative. It's usually quite the opposite, that they say, yeah, I didn't know you like that, let's try that, and here are my ideas, and yeah, let's fart, let's burp, let's do whatever. I don't mind, but it's in our own head, all the scenarios, all the negativity that we go through, all the shame, blame, etc., that holds us then back, and we think this is not enjoyable, I want to get out of it.
Yeah, no, you're right. Communication is definitely the key. I think the worst thing that can happen is that they say, oh, I don't really want to try that, but what about this? You know, you're completely right. If you can't communicate, and if you don't know what you like you said, you know, self-exploration is one of the best ways to understand what feels good for you and your body. It's one of the most natural things in the world. I know that, you know, I've got 2 daughters and 2 sons, and it was something that when I was raising them, I said to them, you know, when you get to that, obviously age appropriately, when you get to that stage where you want to explore your body, you do it in private behind your own bedroom door, and that's just for you. It's not for anybody else, because I didn't want them to ever grow up feeling ashamed of their body, or that sex was something dirty. I wanted them to feel empowered and to know where their boundaries were, and what they liked, what they accepted, and what they didn't. And I know that when I was raised with the, and I guess it was a generation thing, that, you know, you were supposed to be married first, and, you know, and all of those steps that you should have done first. Well, I was pregnant at 16. I didn't get married till I was 17. And I remember even, you know, up until a few years ago, in my mind, there was still that upbringing of stories where I was told sex is something special that is done only with the person you love, and all of those things. And I think society has changed a lot over the last kind of 20 years. And now it seems that it's almost the expectation of saying hi. You know, I mean, dick pics are like the new business card. Yeah, I'm sorry, mate, but if your intention was to make me go, wow, that's a pretty penis, I'd really like to play with that, you've done the opposite. Please, guys, just keep it to yourself. Unless we ask for it, chances are we don't want to see it.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. Like, my eldest daughter is now 23. And even when she was at high school, she'd come in and say, Mum, I got another one. It was just so common to hear, look what I've got. And I don't know what these guys really think, you know, happens on the other end of that. But, you know, if you're a teenager and you're sending it to, you know, another teenager, I guarantee you all of her friends have now seen it. So, you know, just don't. You know, yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things. I mean, the laws stuff and stuff around that now have gotten so much more strict, because depending on the age of the person that took the photo and the age of the person that sent the photo on, it's now considered child pornography, and you can and will be charged as such. So, you know, you've just got to be careful. And I think this is more of a message for the parents of young children who are, you know, who they're raising through that puberty age, where they're trying to teach them body positivity. I think that's a good conversation to have with them, you know, while they're young and while they're learning how to navigate, you know, this lovely world and society that we're in now. It's so different, and it's not all good, but it's not all bad either. It's just different to when I was growing up. So what other stories and stuff have you heard from clients that have come to you? Like, what kind of issues do you find are the most common that make it hard? for us to orgasm, because we get in our heads.
So what usually, two things. So usually, not usually, that's the wrong word, but most of my clients, they have body image issues.
Yeah.
So they don't have that orgasm, they don't have the intercourse, they don't even have intimacy. And when I talk about intimacy, I mean this emotional intimacy. I mean the physical intimacy by hugging, by kissing. Because they feel so uncomfortable with their own body.
Oh, that's a shame.
One client even said that when she looks in the mirror, she said, I feel so ugly, and I believe my husband thinks the same. So whenever he came close and just wanted to hug her, she withdrew because she didn't want to trigger sex. She didn't want to give him the idea that, okay, now I've let you this far. If I allow you to come closer, you want sex, and I don't want that because I feel so ashamed of myself.
Oh, that's horrible. That's heartbreaking.
That is heartbreaking, and
I'm sure it's a common story, though.
It's a very common story, and there is no age limit. It's nothing that happens to ladies in the 20s or in their 50s. It's all of them. And the other thing is, like you said before, when you don't practice it, you forget about it. You just, yeah, there was sex. What was it? How did it go? I don't know if particularly in long-term relationships, you get used to it. You get used to not having sex, and what comes with it is you don't have the other intimacies. So you at one point you stop kissing, you stop holding hands, you stop sitting close to each other, you stop going for dinner dates, just talking about your feelings, your ideas. So all these different types of intimacy, and we have physical, emotional, spiritual, intellectual, social. One by one, they fall apart. You live your own life. You live like roommates.
Yeah.
And then there is still something there that says, but I want to be wanted.
Yeah.
And then usually comes to mind, maybe I'm in the wrong relationship. But you're not. You're not in the wrong relationship. You've just forgotten about the ones that you have.
Yeah.
So that's the other side, that then come to me and then we work on that. Okay, what's going on in your mind, and what can we change thinking wise, thought pattern wise, to get you back to that intimacy, building up that intimacy first, to then get your orgasm back. Because when you start, chances are that your husband or that your partner, whoever it is, wants that as well, are quite high, but they have forgotten as well. They think, yeah, this is our life now. Till the day we die, we're roommates.
Yeah. And it all comes back down to communication, doesn't it? It's letting your partner know your insecurities and allowing them to hopefully squash that for you, allowing them to tell you that you're beautiful and that in their eyes.
I want to interrupt you there, because what you describe is external validation. And even though it's great to hear from your partner that you are beautiful, what you don't want is to rely on his opinion.
No, that's true.
So you want to build it up for yourself, that you look in the mirror and you tell yourself, I am beautiful. And it doesn't matter if my husband responds to that or feeds that back to me.
Yeah.
It only matters what I think and what I feel.
Yeah, and that's
if
actually. And I think when you do believe it, I think that it shows in your posture, it shows in your attitude, it shows in how you show up to in situations. So yeah, you're right. It really should come from you, from deep down within you. And it's not. Chances are it's not going to be a quick fix. It's going to be, a road and a journey that you go on, because there's no right or wrong way of beginning to heal whatever it is that, is weighing you down. But step by step is all you can do. One foot in front of the other.
Yeah, and what my goal with my clients when they have these body image issues or perceive it, is to just accept. So we don't go from I hate my body to I love my body. It's not possible sustainably in those 6 months. But we go from I hate to I accept. What I see in the mirror doesn't cause any self-sabotage anymore. It's, to say it bluntly, neutral. So it's like I can look at myself without shame, without blame. And that's a great starting point, or just that's a great point to be.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing.
Yeah. I haven't spoken about this on the podcast yet, but in November of 2022, I had weight loss surgery. I had gastric sleeve surgery, which removes 80% of my stomach because I had diabetes. I'm a fibromyalgia sufferer and a few other, health complications that just became hard to manage because of there was a worldwide shortage of an injectable medication I needed to take. And so I made the decision to have the surgery. And I think when you were talking about the, looking in the mirror thing, I didn't realize at the time, and I'd heard other people talk about body dysmorphia. Not for a second did I ever think I would be one of the people that would suffer from that. But especially with weight loss surgery patients, it's huge. I've lost close to 30 kilos in the last 7 months. And I still look in the mirror and I still see the fat version of me, even though my clothes are a different size, even though, all of me has, I think I've lost 30 centimeters or something off, different parts of my body. And I was that person that would, I actually remember I stopped working in my business last year because I kept being told, you need to show up, you need to put a face to the company. You need to, be telling stories. And I was ashamed. I didn't want to be the face of the company. And I didn't want to date because I didn't want to have to, let anyone see behind the baggy clothes and all of that. So I completely, that got me right in the feels because I've been that person. And every now and then, every morning when I wake up and look in the mirror while I'm brushing my teeth, I think, damn girl, you look good today. But then there's other days where I think, yeah, no, you're really not, doing what you should be doing to make the most of this new tool that you've got. So I've completely been there. I've avoided intimacy. And like you said, when we say intimacy, it's not just sex. It is the kisses, it is the cuddles, it is, I know we had a rule where whenever we would go to sleep, even if we were fighting, we had to be touching. And quite often it would just be our feet, like we would cross ankles or something like that, that it was still touching, but we were comfortable and could actually sleep. I don't know about other ladies, but I can't do the whole cuddle in and sleep on his chest thing. It's so uncomfortable for me. But it's those things I think that we miss as well. And, having issues where you don't feel comfortable in your own skin really can make a huge difference. And I'm not saying everyone should go out and get weight loss surgery because that's definitely not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that I understand having been in that mindset and, now slowly, like 7 months in, slowly now I'm able to look at my body naked and think, wow, I've actually made progress. And I have loose skin on different parts of my body 30 kilos is quite a lot. And, I didn't really think about it until I went shopping with my daughter and I handed her 2 5-kilo bags of rice. And I went to open the boot to put them in. She's like, Mom, these are really heavy. Can you hurry up? And I said to her, that's only 10 kilos. When I think about it like that I've lost 3 times that, I really hadn't put it into perspective for me, just how heavy that is. And, how much I am changing. So, yeah, you're right. Mindset and anyone that suffers from body dysmorphia to whatever degree it's huge. And it does start within 100%. I've had to, I've got 4 children. I have stretch marks here, there, and everywhere. And I've had to learn to look at them and appreciate the fact that I grew a human, 4 humans, instead of looking at them with disgust of, how they look and how they make me feel, to change my mindset around them of, yeah, but I'm one of those lucky women that was able to grow a human. There are so many women out there that would die for my, I call them tiger stripes, that would do anything to be able to experience pregnancy. And, you know, I try and flip it around. You know, when I am having one of those days, I try and flip around whatever, you know, negative thought is in my head to find that silver lining of it. And yeah, when it comes to being intimate with someone, look, I remember it. It was a long time ago. I'm sure there's a book I could read, you know, to remind myself. But it will be something now that is in the back of my mind, I think, because my body does look so different now with loose skin. But I'm learning to accept that this is the body that holds me. It doesn't define me. It's just, you know, it's the cavity that, you know, holds my essence and allows me to live a life. Yeah, I wholeheartedly think everyone should, you know, especially women, cut yourself some slack, especially if you are a mum, especially if you've had a child and have maybe put on weight, and that's why, you know, you don't feel like, you know, you don't find yourself attractive anymore. I think, you know, just remember that you grew a whole person, you grew a brain, you grew a liver, you grew eyelashes and fingernails. Like that's an amazing thing to have done, and to love your body, and, you know, without getting too woo-woo about it, you know, almost just thank yourself and just remember what you've put your body through.
I would like to make a suggestion, what also helps very nicely, where you then, without comparing yourself to others, like, because that's again externally, that we look for faults in others to make us feel better. So in order to not do that, to leave that out of the way, you could just focus on a body part, or even if it's your fingernails, it doesn't matter. It's something that you like, that you might even love.
Yeah.
And just by switching that, by focusing from something you don't like, that to, oh, but my eyes are so beautiful, hello, that changes the whole perspective that you put on your body.
Yeah.
So that could be quite an easy way to focus on the good parts. It's like the positive thinking, focus on what's working, what is amazing about you. And if you get into that, because you mentioned that you have these days where you think like, look in the mirror and that's okay. We all have that.
Yeah.
All of us have it. Then you look and think, I don't know if I can go out today. It's like, oh my God. It's natural. So just feel the emotions, go through it, and tomorrow is a different day. Don't try to shame yourself about it, and don't try to get yourself out of it as quickly as possible. Just today is one of these days, full stop.
Yeah. I think we, and I don't know where it come from, but I think we're all like programmed to like you said, try and get out of it quickly, you know, or just, you know, just move on from it. And sometimes you just need to feel the feelings so that you can identify them and know exactly, you know, what is triggering you and what to seek help on. You know, whether it is, you know, maybe your eating habits, or, you know, your, I don't know, whatever it is.
I would be careful with that, because sometimes we overthink it and we're looking for what is it that causes this. And sometimes it's literally just nothing. It's just like you hung up on that thought that there must be something, and you have to find it. And if you don't find it, you can't be healed, you can't move forward. And in the end, it's just that thought that should pass, and then it's okay. But you want it, you keep it, you hold it, you search for an answer that might not even be there, because it's just that question that you're afraid of letting go, that it's just okay.
Yeah, I've heard that there have been studies done, especially with cancer patients, that having a positive mindset can actually have an effect on the outcome of your treatment, going through chemo and going through all of those things. And I think making sure that you know, you within yourself and in your mindset are in a positive place. It doesn't have to be all the time. You don't have to walk around being, you know, this big ray of sunshine all the time. That's not realistic. But to a point where, you know, you can be, trying to just, like you said, just try and find those little things that you do like in life, and when it comes to trying to, getting back to getting your orgasm back with your partner, remembering those little things about them that you find attractive, noticing that, maybe while you're cooking dinner, they're checking you out, and, just feeling good about yourself, that, you are a goddess or a god for the men out there listening, and really owning that for yourself, and not putting yourself down for what you perceive other people think is a flaw, because what other people think is irrelevant. It's how you feel about you that really matters. And like we said at the start, it's in your, a lot of the times it's in your head when you've got that block of, and I know mums probably do it too, can we get this over and done with, because I've got to go and make lunches and I've got to pack bags and all of those things. To just get out of your head and into your knickers, because that's where the good stuff is, that's going to, help with headaches and reduce all of those health things that we were talking about.
And one other way, I mean, when we think about having the orgasm, we usually think about having intercourse, don't we?
Yeah.
We have foreplay. If we are lucky, we have foreplay, and then foreplay, you have the main course, and then you have the after cuddling, What if you don't have to do that all the time? What if you just say, let's masturbate together?
Yeah.
Down to business, masturbate together. And after 5 minutes, everyone's happy and pleased and had their orgasm and are now relaxed. So it's not always the full spectrum that you need to do, you have to do. There are alternatives that you can just please yourself, please both of you, and still get that connection.
Yeah, that's true. It doesn't have to take, 30 minutes, half an hour, 30 minutes to an hour. Sometimes a quickie, and like you said, just masturbating and doing it yourself and getting it done. And you'll find that, having your partner there is probably a turn on to him or her, watching you pleasure yourself. So by all means, self-love is good love.
Yes.
So for people that are listening, that are thinking, look, that sounds like it's something that I might need to talk out with you, how do we get a hold of you?
Well, they definitely find me on LinkedIn under Anna Thelmann. They can also send me an email at anna@annathelmann.com. And they can call me in China, but I think that's not the best option.
Yeah, the time difference might be slightly hard.
Yeah, but email, and check out my website, annathelmann.com. You get all the contact details there as well.
Perfect. We will add those to the description below, so that you can just click on it and get in touch with Anna, in any of those ways. Thank you so much for talking to us about our orgasm today. It was a really lovely, and it was a fun topic. Like I said, I think it should be spoken about more. It's not dirty. It's not, it's something that we should be ashamed of. It should be something that, is really special to us, and we should be doing it 3 to 4 times a week. And men, 21 times a month, get that count up. So that is the end of this lovely episode. I really hope you join us for the next one. And until then, when we talk about things from the heart. Please be advised that this podcast may contain triggers. If you find yourself triggered by any of our topics, please reach out and seek help.